Morning, Fractal Effects team. We're just in the middle of the morning trade, so please make sure you read the disclosure before we get started. It's on the Fractal Effects website, fractaleffects.com, in the footer section. If you're following along with us today, make sure you do in a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So we had a break to the upside of the manipulation zone. We had a clean MM so far. We do not have a double break. This was the first presented fair value gap on the 5M. This is the second. We do have a bit of an upside expansion model, mixed model buy. Actually, sorry, mixed model sell. And we're just waiting to see. We're waiting to see if the market wants to push past here and hit here and drop, or if it wants to give us a double break, in which case we will then wait for that bullish confirmation and take it up into the weekly range, these aqua lines here, and then even potentially this 4-hour consequence encroachment of a wick, this green line. I want to see if we get a 1M bearish fair value gap, because it could just drop. Let's go up to the 5-minute here. Show you guys what it looks like. So we had 9:45 news drop, which is the weirdest time. So there's our DSD high. Crashed right into it, hit the NWOG. And then as far as US 500, we're above both DSDs, right at the DSD high, consolidating. Usually a consolidation leads to a continuation. Still only 2 candles. Right now, US 500 is the weaker of the 2 pairs. We'll see if we're able to get above this purple zone and the inverse of the NYC fair value gap. We'll see if they hold up US 500 here while they take NAS up here to hit this fair value gap. If we see that, that's more of a sign that this thing does want to drop, because we're also right at the NWOG as well, or sorry, the NDOG, I should say. So right now, things are looking more bearish than bullish. So I want to watch NAS on the 1. And since I think they'll just pause US 500 here, we can just watch it on the 5. If US 500 does not get past this zone right here, past this fair value gap, then both pairs are most likely dropping. But we'll see from where they want to drop. This would be a 10 o'clock reversal, which is one of those trade setups we like to avoid. Usually we want the 10 o'clock candle to be a continuation candle, but we'll take it as we get it. So far we have a green box, slight upside expansion model. Let's see if we get that bearish 1M fair value gap created and tapped. "31 seconds left. Right now it's forming. So it's formed. Let's see if it taps it, closes under. The only thing I don't like is the DST high is right under us. This is a very, very strong rejection point. So we've already taken out those lows, but we need a tap. We need a foothold. Without that foothold, we cannot take a position. Just extending that. So we've already taken out these lows without actually tapping anything. This late in the game, obviously we're waiting for confirmation. We're still mid-range of our spotlight dealing range. Just want to see this on the 5 real quick. So both pairs have taken out those lows. US 500 has already taken out this candle's low, which is all the way down here. Finally back into this fair value gap. Let's see how high it goes. We've already had the crossover on the 1, so we're red. Let's see if it respects or disrespects this fair value gap. Here we're at the end dog, so it's using the end dog as a similar zone. It might not even get all the way up here. So it's already disrespected this fair value gap, which means it could be making one more push up. Here we're getting an immediate rebalancing candle. We're in the process of getting an engulfing candle, which means the market might want to go all the way up and tap that other fair value gap that we had up here, but we'll see. US 500 now becomes our gauge. This is going to let us know how high the market really wants to go. So regardless of the movement here, this is what's going to tell us if this thing wants to drop or push up. So right now we're having a tough time getting past the end dog, but we do have this immediate rebalance candle as well. 2 minutes left. So as soon as we take out this candle's high, we're going to get rid of this fair value gap because that's been disrespected. As soon as we pass the midpoint. Yeah, that's been disrespected. Let's see if we create another one or if this thing continues pushing up right now with this immediate rebalance right off the DSD high. This could push up much higher. But we'll see. We're still technically on the bottom side of the consequence encroachment of the NYC opening gap. Look at that, a big, big candle right there. We still now need a new 1M bearish fair value gap to be tapped, and then that series of candles to be closed over. This is still a clean MM. This is still bearish from the morning session. That is a big, big candle. Still need a foothold though. This now becomes the fair value gap of interest. Once this closes, I mean. Let's see where it closes. All signs are still pointing bearish. 7 seconds. Tap. Back to the 20. Let's see if it respects this and closes under. If it goes above that, this is another disrespect. US 500 having a tough time getting past the end dog. Having a tough time getting past the midpoint of the NYC inverse now. All bearish signs. Here on NAS, we're actually above the NYC consequence encroachment. But this is the weaker pair, so this is the one that's going to kind of gauge and let us know if this thing wants to drop or go up. This has to get above the NYC fair value gap and above the end dog for this to really want to push up. So right before there is a reversal, the weaker pair does become strong for a moment. So we'll see which side of this range, these wicks, the US 500 takes first, the higher the low. Still having a tough time getting above that. Here on the 1M, I'd like to see a candle close below that blue line, the blue zone here on the 1M. We're red across the board here on US 500. And if we run up over here above this candle, then we're going to have to look for a new one. Actually, sorry, this one. If we run up over this, we're going to have to look for a new bearish. US 500 still having a tough time getting over the consequence encroachment of the DSD high, still below NYC fair value gap inverse. I want to see a candle close below this blue line. Ten minutes from 11. There we're getting that power of three consolidation. No candle closure over this blue yet. Obviously this late in the game, we're just waiting for a confirmation, but we want to break the range. So we're just calling it right now as far as ticker. Reading the ticker tape. Having a tough time getting below that blue, which again is the NYC fair value gap. So this does not want to drop past the NYC fair value gap. And at the same time, this one's below it and does not want to get above it. Also bouncing off the DSD. We're still well above the blue zone here. Closed. Let's do we technically close below? Yeah, we close below the blue. Let's see if this makes a run now, or if it just rejects from here. We gotta keep in mind we still have the DSD low to contend with as well. So even if this market is dropping from here, we don't know exactly how far it'll go. About 5 minutes till 11. So we're at the DSD low now. See the distance when you're looking at diverging pairs. Look how close this is to sweeping this low. We want to be mindful of where NAS is. NAS is now below the NYC fair value gap. Got a lot of highly algorithmic zones in the way though. There's the NDOG, purple zone. And there's the DSD low for NAS. Again, this is not a coincidence. In the early morning session, this is what let us know that this thing wanted to take out the highs. So there's a strategy, the DSD strategy. It's a mini strategy if either side of the DSDs have been hit and they're being respected and a 5M fair value gap is created. You can almost assume that it's going to take out the other side of the manipulation zone. This is a perfect example. We have the DSD high, so like up here, DSD low down here. We tapped it, left all these breakaway gaps, finally came back, tapped here, and then took out the manipulation range high right into the DSD high. Not a coincidence. That's why we created these levels for you. For US 500, the DSDs are very close together, and they're right here. Let me check something here. So we're getting a rejection off of here now. This is why we want to wait for confirmation. So even though we've reached the DSD low, we have not swept out these lows. That's a big run here. This is NYC open right around here. Look at this immediate rebalancing candle. So if this was power of 3, this could have been the manipulation move before sending this back up. We're still inside the NYC fair value gap. Remember, we're not all of a sudden bullish here. I want to see if US 500 can get above the NYC fair value gap. I'm also interested to see which pair takes these highs first, all these wicks. Most likely it might be US 500, but we'll see. We're at 11 o'clock now. Opening of a new 4-hour candle. Oh, wait, sorry. My apologies. US 500 still having a tough time getting above the NYC inverse now. This is now, if this thing does push up, this is a high resistance liquidity run. There's a lot of points in its way. We have the purple zone, the blue zone. On NAS, we have the DSD high. You'd have to push past all that, then give us a double break, and then have a retracement back to the DSD most likely, and then a push up. So a lot of stuff in its way. I don't like how this didn't take out these lows. If this had taken out the lows, I would have been convinced that this wants to push up. Seems a little strange for it to just stop this short. Trying to get above the NYC opening gap. So this just took all these highs out. Now we've had a switch where US 500, at least for the time being, is the stronger pair. We just took these highs. Let's see if it wants to drop from here or go up. If it creates a 5M bullish fair value gap, then it most likely wants to go up. If it drops from here, then both markets are most likely dropping. Anytime you see the weaker become stronger for even a moment, a reversal is usually coming. As mentioned before, this was weird that they stopped it right here without sweeping these lows. We have no confirmation as of yet. And on top of that, as far as the blue zone strategy is concerned, we're still technically bearish. We do not have a double break to the upside. This could be the push down here. Let's see. I'd like to see an immediate rebalancing candle if this thing is going to push down and close below the NYC inverse gap again. I want to see a 1M bearish fair value gap created. This could be signaling the push down. Let's see. Oh, that shot back up, closed off anything. Now we're wicking off of that NYC fair value gap. Look at NAS now, but NAS is yet to take these highs. No fair value gap created here. No bullish fair value gap created. We just tap the blue zone. About 22 minutes left in our stream. Let's see if we get that confirmation in either direction. We're still inside this 5M bearish fair value gap. And NAS is yet to take these highs. Remember, NAS was the stronger one. When NAS can't take those highs, and US 500 does, and taps a blue zone, and you're sitting inside of a 5M bearish fair value gap. This is where the waters get muddied. This is giving us all signals that this thing wants to push down, but we have to proceed with caution. It's playing both sides right now. There are people that see this bounce off the DSD, and they think it's going up. There are people that are looking at the fact that we're above the NYC fair value gap, and this thing wants to push up from here as well. But the clean MM, fair value gap, NAS is unable to take these highs. These are all bearish signals. So they're just engineering new liquidity right here. Three minutes left. Let's see if we get an immediate rebalance candle here. We didn't get one back here. And let's see if we leave a 1M bearish fair value gap. Doesn't look like it. So 18 minutes left in our stream. Two minutes left in this candle closure. I want to see if we get that engulfing candle and if it gives us a 1M bearish fair value gap. Since we don't have a confirmation yet, all we got to do is use all our other points of confluence. We do have an upside expansion model. We have a green box. We're bouncing off the NYC fair value gap to the upside. But at the same time, we have a clean MM to the downside. We're having a tough time getting past this 5M bearish fair value gap and the blue zone. One minute left. Let's see what happens. This would be a great place for them to drop it. But let's wait and watch. Three, two, one. That is an immediate rebalancing candle. Did it leave a? Let's see if it leaves a 1M bearish fair value gap. We're continuing to bounce off the NYC fair value gap and the DSD high. But it makes more sense for this to want to take out these lows now. Get rid of this. 12 minutes left. I don't know if we got a confirmation, but I think we want to sweep these lows now. Let's take a look on the 1M. We left these two fair value gaps, 20 EMA. We're right across the board here. Let's see if we get that immediate rebalancing candle on the 1M. Close under here. About 10 minutes left in our stream. Sadly, this could just be one of those days where we never leave the range. This late in the game, that's not what you want to see. So it's already disrespected these fair value gaps here. Disrespected this one. NAS can take out that green line, and they both of them most likely will push up, but the DSD high and the blue zone are paired up or lined up. So I just took those highs, which means that they most likely want to jump up from here. But we have a blue zone, a DSD. We still have another 5M fair value gap where this thing could drop from. Still not interested in buying this market. I'd need to see a bullish confirmation. I don't know if we're going to get that in 6 minutes. So this will be our last candle. Two minutes, 30 seconds left in this candle. Again, just gesticulating here now. Another immediate rebalancing candle, but let's see if it sticks. Could still drop from here. Now look at all the back and forth. So if it does drop from here, the fact that it took out all the positions here and here that were coming off of this fair value gap. One minute left. We're not going to get our confirmation. So please check us out on fractaleffects.com, where we teach high probability trading. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications when you know we're live. Check us out on social media, fractal.effects. And even if we didn't get a setup today, remember capital preservation is our main priority. And this strategy, first and foremost, helps you do that, helps you achieve that capital preservation priority. this is a lot of back and forth. You could have gone in, people went in for a buy and then all of a sudden their stops got taken here. People who went in for a short, their stops might have gotten taken out here. A lot of back and forth. This is the first actual push down we're seeing now. That could eventually lead to that sweep of these lows that we were talking about. But for all we know, it could actually just bounce off of here and give us another couple of candles. I don't like this setup. Usually anytime you see the DSDs, both of them grouped together like this, it makes for some muddied waters. At this point, you'd almost want to wait for a 5M bearish fair value gap. And again, this could be the push down, but it's coming too late past our window of opportunity. So we'll